What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Black Desert video. So usually I grind at Zephyros, but I still got to do my weekly to get the end times, and I kind of wanted to see how much more silver is Zephyros versus Tenebraum. Obviously these are the two latest end game spots, and they're actually pretty competitive, but I wanted to see how much more competitive. And so yeah, with that said, in case you've never seen this spot before, it's down here, Tenebraum, and basically it's kind of like this one, but with a lower gear score requirement. Anyway, with that said, going in, it's knockdown resist, I believe. And let me just make sure I have everything. Let's see. Don't think we particularly need Adania ones, but you know, why not? All right, let's do this. I actually find that I get like higher FPS in Zephyros over Tenebraum. I don't know why. I think it might be just because of the thing in the center. That's what we're also testing as well. And so, I don't know. I personally like Zephyros more just because it doesn't feel locked. Like, even though they're both tower spots, this one just feels like it's more limited, if that makes sense. I don't know. It's something you guys have to see when you grind here eventually. But anyway. Are you guys having fun with the new Seraph class? I think it's fun, and I'm still learning it, and then as I get better at it, I'll do some updates on it. But right now we have a basic combo guide and, you know, my seasons, so you guys can see what it's like playing through it for the first time. I know they said they buffed the Debo drop rate, but I wonder if that was just at Zephyros. I don't remember what they said about it, so kinda testing. I know they increased the rate of some of them, like certain kinds of Debos. Well, I don't remember which ones. I just remember at the Calpheon Ball and a few patches ago they said something's changed. But admittedly, I'm glad I do not grind here on a regular anymore, even though I actually think this spot is a lot easier. Well, not easier, but like a lot more chill than Orbita, which is the spot below this one. And I don't know, this spot just feels calmer. The one mechanic I hate is that, you know how during the phase in the middle, right? You have to kill all the enemies within like 30 seconds to get the buff that's like a different tier every time. It's not that I can't do that. It just sometimes I feel like it lags. I'm like, oh, we have a few seconds left, and then clearly all the enemies are gone, and sometimes you just don't get the buff. So I'm not sure. You have to do it within a few seconds, but like the whole gimmick thing, if you don't get it, that's trash loot lost. So that's also one of those things that it could be literally a latency problem, not literally anyone else. So I just hope in the future they don't keep doing that. It's a neat idea, but unless people are playing on like very low latency and ping and everything, sometimes it just server tick doesn't register. How'd you guys do on your free hammers that they gave out with this week's patch? I failed all 20 decks. Felt bad. And then you know what else happened this week? failed all my Idania boss clicks on the armor. Also felt bad. I swear, sometimes I wonder, is like grinding silver just to fail feels bad. Oh boy, a Han. That's one thing that I've noticed in Zephyros. They give less of those Han crystals because I assume you already have the big one. So you get more end times and heralds, which I think is an overall good thing. But here I am grinding the weekly Tenebraum. I actually think that I might need a few of the Han BSRs, like the purple crystals. Because I want to play around with that for Seraph in particular, because that one is a BSR based class, and I want to try adding like between like 1 to 4 of them just to see how much difference it'll make. You see that whole like the yellow marble buff? I swear sometimes I don't even get it on, and I clear it well within the time. I'm just not sure. This one I'm not. I think it is a thing where you just kind of save your EZ buff or whatever for whenever this phase happens. I wish you can convert those distorteds into, you know, the silent ones at like, I don't know, 10-to-1 rate or something. Even if it's like clearly a bad trade-off in terms of silver value, the distorteds just straight up don't sell in the market. Like, you see how no buff, don't even know where, like, which waves it comes from. It just kind of happens. Golden marble buff. You know, those Herald crystals, I'm convinced like in another month or so, they're just going to start sitting on the market, which is good for all of you players that actually still need it. But at the same time, that is a big chunk of silver. Because we look at that. Remember when there used to be like 10,000 on order? Now there's only like under 2,000 now. So in about a month or so, people are going to be able to buy them freely, which is actually, I mean, it's a good thing, but not for all of us. Less silver grinding in other spots now. Make sure to get your cron stones, boys. Those are pretty important. How much trash loot is actually good here nowadays? Been a while since I've grinded this spot. I think when it came out was the last time. And I moved to Zephyros as soon as possible. Didn't they say in the Calpheon ball that they're going to buff Zephyros even more? I thought I remember they said they added something with it. Which is going to be good, because lava frogs. I'm starting to wonder how much silver this spot makes. It surely it's probably like within a couple 100 mil. of Zephyros, right? Like 3.5 billion versus 4. But I guess that depends on Debo drops as well, so we'll see. Love it when they get stuck in the wall. Very cool. When you don't get any crystals or anything out of that one, every phase it feels kind of bad. We are, yeah, 285. Pretty good. If they're gonna do tower spots going forward, like the future of Black Desert, I wish you could do grind bust by the half an hour as well. Like, I mean, obviously keep the hour ones that we have, but like buffs by half hour would be nice too. I know you could just log out, but it doesn't hit the same. I wish they spawned in a little bit faster. Like, the second you get your buff, they're just spawning in. But they spawn faster, you get more time on the buff. Two heralds. See how like there was just 6 seconds of buff gone because they were spawning in. Yeah, I'll fix that for Elibis. See why no buff. Cleared it in time. What surprised me is I still never understood how that, like, they calculate trash loot. So, like, for example, Zephyros, the highest end grind spot in the game, the trash loot is worth like 126, or Tenebraum is 147. It should be like the other way around, right? You should be making more silver at the higher end spot, which you do overall, but like trash loot wise, feels kind of weird. Need my 1,000 crons. The next week I can fail another one. I failed all my attempts. Like, I did one on here and then here. It's like 2 weeks of straight failing in a row. On like mid 300 stacks, like a 330 for that one, and then for the other ones at least 300 up. Endgame is really about who can hit a 5% or less success rate on an enhance. It's so sad. I hate the direction this is going. Like, it doesn't even make people want to spend money anymore. It just makes everyone just sad. I'm convinced like things have like more health but when they're stunned. I wish I knew what this song was, like what the music here is. It sounds, I feel like I've heard it somewhere in one of those like epic music things you've listened to on YouTube. It really sounds like one of them. Oh, nice. I was like, wait, why did I stop attacking? Oh, you just cheered for Debo in a situation. Imagine you're doing this on the clock when you're getting the buff during the middle phase. You have like 2 seconds left to clear an enemy, you start cheering. And it's like, oh, you missed the buff, but you got like 300 mil. It's worth it, but feels weird. If I had one complaint about Dark Knight, well, I have a lot of them, but one of them is how half of your abilities shoot you forward when you're moving. Whereas like Wizard Witch, you could just start casting in place and then it's really nice. But, you know, half the Dark Knight abilities moves you forward. Can't stationary attack. Oh my god, I don't think I've ever heard that noise before with sound on. Usually when I grind off recording, I just listen to like music and stuff. I don't have game sound. Kind of looked like a Debo out of the corner of my eye. I think I iframed a buff. This is why, like, this thing's so stupid. Probably could have gotten it. I didn't move. Forgot you gotta stay still in this game. Ooh, piece of candy. Oh my god. That was a 1%. BDO, I swear, is like one of the most unoptimized games ever seen. I hope Crimson Desert is on some new engine, works great. And the reason why I can tell is, like, I play other MMOs and then just never see something so weird. These are the most depressing things you can get. All right, so that is another 400. Sucks how it is Saturday, and that means everyone got Black Shrine rewards, and you get a low amount. I could have held on to it, but whatever. It's not a big deal to me. I think 2026 I might actually start working on life skill gear more often. Like right now, things I'm working on, getting the other 3 pens. Like I got these 3. I might get the other 3 for pen and then start working on Mono's clothes. Sometimes I wonder if the reason why they do tower spots, like that's what seems to be going on for years now, is because the old game engine that they're using wouldn't support like the new mechanics they want to add in the game, or they're just lazy. I don't know. Like the ones we have are, you know, from many years ago, but I assume if they wanted to try to incorporate any new grind spot mechanics, it wouldn't work out as well. Also, the FSR thing that we have in game to 1.0, if you play other games, they have like FSR like 4 or 5.0 right now, so it's just a them issue. I don't know why, I just feel like every time you kill the ancient and it stuns them, they just like get more DRs. It just feels that way. My timer. How many of the Seraph sigils for the event are you guys getting an hour? I'm convinced I get more gathering than I do grinding. Always a question of, should I pop my 100 here or wait till the boss phase? I don't know. Never really thought about that too hard. That was 1% low. I don't know how to describe it, but I just feel like this spot in terms of performance is worse than... This is probably the worst of the 5 Edania ones. I think if you average like 8 of each of these crystallized end times and heralds an hour, it's pretty good. probably have time for 1.5 more cycles. I wish one day in this game I could be hard capped again. I was like that back before Karazods and Sovereigns came out, when you had like full deck Debos and or not full pen Debos and Black Stars. I had like hard cap gear for a solid like 2 months, and then all that came out and never again. I wish I could just be lucky, aren't enhancing one time when it matters with this one, and not go pity like my first Nov. Oh my god. I'm actually convinced target openings might be better here. One stuck in the wall. No more Christmas boxes. You know, I have a lot of scrolls I need to run for memfrags, but man, that feels so bad. I wish there was just an exchange. Like, I know you could just sell them on the market and buy it, but like, and NPCs like, here, you don't have to run these anymore. Just exchange it, but at a lower rate. Not like market lower rate, but slightly better. So like, for example, you know those sealed written scrolls that you get from Valencia spots? So it gives you between like 6 to 7 per scroll. It should be like the lower rate, so like 6 guaranteed if you want to just exchange them. So like 5 to 6. Oh boy. Something that won't sell. You know how people or like content creators do challenges on like games like Call of Duty? Is like, I used the worst gun or something. I wonder what we could do for Black Desert kind of things. I think that would be cool. Like, I tried the weakest class in this game. I don't even know what that would be. Probably, I don't know, actually. Tamer? Tamer's not even bad. Corsair, actually, I think might be. They got buffed. I don't even think they're bad either. I actually got my Seraph the season 1 to 61, and then my non-season one, so I can play around with like actual tag gear. And then this one's already basically done. Probably like 5 hours total solo. Oh, no red buff. Sad. Dude, make this pillar go faster. Dude, these take like no damage. What? I wish I was good enough to do six rotations. I've seen some classes do that. I think Seraph should be able to with the huge AoEs. After the hour, we'll calculate trash loot and everything. Yeah, I knew I wasn't going to be able to hit the full rotation on this one, but it's okay. Those don't even sell at max price anymore. They just sit. You know these Adania crystals that everyone gets, like the Han ones I get? I wish we could sell them to other players. That way, like the newer players who are just trying to get into Adania, like they could get in smoother and easier, but it'll help with their AP. And then for people like me who don't need them, you know, it's just extra silver. Instead of bettering it for 10 mil each, I wish you could just sell it to other players. Probably make the game go by a little bit quicker. Alright, so whenever my harmony and stuff go out, I'll call it. Even if you were undercapped at like what 1980-ish total AP, I think I would still probably go to Zephyros just because of the inconvenience of being here. I will say it is easy, but it's not necessarily the most fun. All right, so let's see. After these buffs, what do we have? I know there's like one phase left. All right, let's do some calculations. Calculator time. So we got 21,000 trash loot times, how much is this worth? 147,630. 3.1 billion for that. And then we sold a Debo ring for like, let's just say 400. So 1 plus 0.4. And then that's another 350. Another, if we vendor this one, that's another 0.4 plus 0.5. And we got this one, so that's like another 0.1. Let's just say it was around like 4.1 bill an hour. So yeah, 4.1 bill an hour here with Agris. Well, the only reason why I was here was for the weekly. Like, I've been selling these because I don't really think I need that many, but like eventually when I actually have enough silver for all that, I'll just probably use them. Plus they did a weekly, so it's not that bad. So anyway, 4 bill an hour here. Not too bad. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.